What's up, folks? We are back continuing this series between the teal Zerg Kevin Lee and the pink Terran B-Breed. So these guys were playing yesterday and the score was 2-2 until Kevin just rage quit and forfeited the series. So not sure if we should continue at a 2-2 or start a new series. I mean, it's even anyways, so I guess we're starting over. 0-0. First map for today gonna be Curious Minds, one of the smaller maps, and got this cool little purpley futuristic vibe going on. It's got some rocks in the middle, these little atom thingy-doos on the ground, got some watchtowers, and of course there's rocks. It's again a relatively small map. It doesn't take too long to get to the opponent's side of the map, and that means rushes or early aggression typically going to be a little more impactful, as we do see Kevin has gone for an early pool. Continue to mine gas, gonna have his first 100 shortly. Now, is he gonna keep into gas? Looks like yes. So are we gonna see a Baneling bust type of move? Certainly looks that way for now. We do see this first Overlord getting harassed by a single Marine. Might actually lose its life because there's really nowhere safe to get away. That's kind of an error from Kevin. You could have just easily put it over here. I'm not sure why this Overlord was out in the open like that. That's gonna cost him 100 minerals early on, and that's pretty big. We do see two Lings and trying to save that Overlord, but they were too slow, didn't have speed. And now we do see Kevin going up to his second gas. He hasn't really been flooding out Lings, so is this going to be some kind of macro build? Kind of strange to be going for all this gas. I mean, Kevin does do that frequently. Goes for a lot of gases. He goes for early layer, and then I don't really know. Sometimes he goes Spire, sometimes he just floats a million gas. So we gotta see what it's gonna be. It looks like Roachwarn coming down along with double evolution chamber. We got a sort of wall going on with a little path up here. And B-Breed, he is getting some extra barracks. He has his second command center in the main. Gonna be floating that over now. And it's not gonna be a battle cruiser opening. In fact, going for an engineering bay. Oh, small cancel there. Maybe he made the wrong attachment. But going for a single E-bay. That points to +1 attack timing. Some Widow Mines, a singular tank, and Kevin is going for that layer now, getting 1-1 for ranged units, so he is going to be committing to roaches and perhaps hydras and lurkers down the line. He is once again going up to 4 gases, which I think is a little too much for 2 bases. But we'll see what exactly he goes for. If he goes for Ravagers, that might be okay, because they do cost a lot of gas. And I would like to see a third sooner rather than later. A lot of times Zergs will get their third base right after the pool finishes. So Kevin gonna be a little bit behind in that regard. Sending out some Zerglings to do a little bit of scouting. They are gonna spot that tank. And now the layer is done. We are gonna see a Hydralisk den on the way. It's gonna be a classic Roach Hydra unit composition. This has kind of fallen out of style in recent years. Roaches are a little bit too clunky, too supply heavy, not that great. And most of the time it's better to just use Lingbane. I do see a Overseer flying in, gonna get picked off by the Marines and Widowmine, but it did drop a Changeling that's gonna get a nice little scout off. Gonna spot just about everything that the Terran has. I'm gonna hang out here in the natural. And now we do see B-Breed moving on out. And again, this Changeling gonna spot all that. B-Breed does have his +1 attack. This is a pretty decent timing, I would say. Kevin doesn't quite have his Hydra upgrades completed, but might have that by the time this attack lands, and especially if B-Reed keeps wasting time here. And now he is venturing onto creep. Again, Roach Hydra, not the best composition. Let's see how he does against this Terran army. Looks like those Widow Mines weren't too useful, but a lot of the Roach Hydra has gone down. Not too much Terran remaining though. A little bit of miscontrol there from B-Breed, I think. He kind of ventured his Widow Mines a little too far forward and lost a couple of them without even burrowing. And so he's going to fly back home. And all things considered, pretty even game. Worker counts 45 to 43, slightly in favor of the Terran, which is never good as a Zerg player. However, upgrades. Kevin already has his 1-1. He's working on +2 attack, not getting the +2 armor. Only just now starting that. Bit of an error there, but he still has the upgrade lead. And B-Breed working on his +1 armor as well as vehicle weapons. So he's got some catching up to do in terms of the upgrades. Now Kevin is establishing his third base, throwing down his fourth as well, trying to drone up. Don't see a lurker den anywhere just yet. No infestation pit either. And those are two structures that Kevin should go for eventually, hopefully soon. As Roach Hydra, again, not that great of a unit composition. B-Breed, he's still just making more units. Again, his rally points needs to be fixed. He does this quite a lot. Marines just kind of coming out of the barracks and hanging outside, having a smoke break or something. You do see all these other buildings have their rallies set. This one does not. Kind of strange. He is lifting up and landing his third base, so at least he is going for the later game, not going to be all in on two bases. And there we do see the Lurker Den and Infestation Pit coming up. I do expect this is just going to be for the Hive, so he can get Lurker upgrades. Should start that soon. More roaches popping out. Fourth base is completed, but no drones mining just yet. Now B-Breed making moves once again, going on to creep. Gonna be clearing out a few of these tumors. He doesn't always do that, but is going for that this game, which I appreciate. And it looks like he doesn't have the burrowing claws, whatever it's called, upgrade on these widow mines. So they do take quite a while to burrow into the ground. It's something you gotta be mindful of if you go for a lot of widow mines. Looks like only 2, however, for the Terran currently. You see a small engagement from Kevin, just gonna be picking off 1 tank. And he is getting some lurkers. He's got 8 of them. That's gonna be very difficult for a Terran to deal with. However, it doesn't have the upgrades on them just yet, so B-Breed has a window before those lurkers are at their maximum potential. Still, you gotta be very careful, and yeah, he's gonna have to run away. Doesn't even get that base. It's unfortunate. Now he kites backwards, gonna fight away from the lurkers. That's a wise choice. Now that the lurkers show back up, you gotta back away. And B-Breed is in a bit of trouble right now. Doesn't have the best counters to the lurkers. Kevin smelling blood in the water, going for an attack. And B-Breed, no answer to these lurkers. He's floating so much money. This is something he does quite a lot. Doesn't get enough production facilities, and maybe he's too focused on the fight, not on top of his production. And that's why it's important to just get extra barracks, factories, starports, everything, so you can spend this money. Likewise, Kevin floating quite a bit of minerals himself. He is continuing this pressure. A lot of Ravagers morphing in. These lurkers still don't have their upgrades, but they are still going to be quite strong. Raining biles down, going to take out those widow mines. And is this going to be the end? I don't really see a way for B-Breed to hold this right now. But tanks on the high ground, pretty good, I guess. It's going to stifle this attack for now. Kevin's just going to reposition. He still hasn't started that hive. Hasn't really been on top of his injects. You see these queens with a lot of energy. Scan going down from B-Breed just to see the situation here. And he can't be happy with what he sees. This Liberator, pretty good. But Biles raining down. Liberator still standing strong, but there's just so much Zerg right now. And oh my god, he unburrows everything. And might actually lose all these lurkers now, so wow, okay. Somehow, some way, B-Breed has held. But 88 supply to 93, it's close, sure, but Kevin has a lot of money in the bank. B-Breed, not so much. So he is gonna pull the boys. I think this is all in time. And these few, not sure what they're doing, but they could come help. Kevin seeing this, starting up 11 Hydras and 8 Overseers? Why do you need that many Overseers? And he should be able to hold this, but it's always a little scary against tanks. Let's see if B-Breed can pull this off. Tanks caught with their pants down. That's not how you want to do it. 2, 3 of them gonna go down for free. This one, can it survive? It looks like, yeah, for now. And another thing that's going in B-Breed's favor is these units spawning from different hatcheries. So B-Breed has the opportunity to pick them off one at a time. This is actually kind of close, but if Kevin just regroups... No, you don't want to fight with only 3 roaches. He's forced to pull the drones. Fight with the drones. And, oh my god, this is so close! What is happening? 25 drones going down. And there is still a Terran army here on the Zerg side of the map. Kevin is trying to get enough units. He's got a few Hydras. Needs to buy time for more units, and that's what he's doing. He's pulling back, but that's going to allow B-Breed to run into the natural. Oh my god, what are we witnessing, folks? Is B-Breed going to pull this off? Oh my god! Now Kevin, he runs out with some Roach Hydras, going to pick off these reinforcements. However, going to lose the natural, going to lose the Roach Warren. These bio units so low on HP though. This medevac completely dry of energy. And now this Terran army in the main base gonna get some more drones. The Hive is vulnerable as well. 26 Zerglings on the way. A lot of them spawning to their deaths, but now Kevin regrouping. That should be enough to clean this up, but honestly I think B-Breed has done enough damage to at least stabilize and could pick off, but might lose that medevac, so gonna sacrifice his entire bio army. A couple of units in this medevac could actually drop off to do a little bit of damage. Actually, it's only 1 Marine and 1 SCV. And somehow B-Breed maintains the worker lead after pulling the boys. And Kevin now on the counter offensive. What does B-Breed have? Not a whole lot over here. He's got to be careful. Pulling some SCVs. They need to fight as well. But maybe not. No, Kevin turns back. What are we witnessing? Oh my goodness. Supplies almost dead even. The Zerg base in shambles. Look at this. The natural non-existent third has fallen. There's nothing mining over here. We've got 2 relatively fresh bases, but that's about it. B-Breed, he has lifted up his main to the 3rd location. He's getting a 4th here. And I don't know, I favor B-Breed's position right now. He does have more workers. He's got 2 bases, 3 orbitals that can drop mules. Lots of gas that I don't really know how he can spend. I don't know why you're making refineries. You don't need gas for a while now, B-Breed. But Kevin morphing some lurkers, that's going to be very useful in the upcoming fights. Still don't have those important upgrades for them, so they're not going to be that great. Does have the Hive, but his economy has been pretty shot. As we do see, economy has been favoring B-Breed for some time now. Kevin gonna go for a bit of an attack. Burrow these lurkers in range of this base. Gotta be careful though, only 2 lurkers, and he's not really backing them up with the brunt of his army. And B-Breed seeing the lurkers, he just decides, nah, I don't want to deal with that. Goes for the counter attack. Are we gonna see a base trade? It's a little crazy. And what are these units doing? Mostly SCVs. You guys can mine over here. But yeah, looks like we're seeing a base trade, and that's always gonna favor the Terran, right? Because they can just lift off their buildings. But let's see what happens. Oh no, SCV's fighting Lings. Okay, kind of both disengaging there. Very awkward right now. Lift up your buildings, B-Breed. Oh no, you're gonna lose this to ground units. Oh no, there's energy on it too. No! And his main base getting ransacked right now. B-Breed going for the bases of Kevin. Now Kevin does have a lot more buildings, but again, keep in mind Terran buildings can fly. This base here still undetected. This starport flying away. This hatchery gonna go down. B-Breed. I think you need to split up your units. Just go kill stuff. What are these medevacs doing? And this is a little crazy. Can this starport get away? Where can it go, though? Is there any dead space? Wait. Oh! The Hydras couldn't reach. Oh my god. And I don't think Kevin has any air units, so the best outcome Kevin can hope for is a draw right now. There's no way for him to hit this barracks. It's not burning just yet. This one's gonna go down, but this one can stay alive forever. Terran OP, man. And yeah, Kevin doesn't have money for a Spire or anything, so it looks like we're either gonna see a Terran victory or a draw. This is insanity. What are we witnessing? Oh my god. And I feel like Kevin could kill this army if he goes for the fight and then go for these buildings and force the liftoff and force a draw. That would be pretty crazy. But is Kevin gonna go for that? Oh my god, what are we witnessing? And he still has lurkers. 2 lurkers. Looks like he's just gonna defend this base here. And drones going for the scout, I guess. They're gonna spot that there. And oh, gonna lose some of them. But yeah, this Zerg army still quite formidable, especially with the lurkers. B-Breed gonna spot this base, gonna take that out. These Lings finally gonna spot this base. Oh, but they're gonna run past it. Oh no! Now B-Breed running back to defend. And these Lings gonna get some of these SCVs maybe. And oh, here comes the Zerg. No, doesn't want to go for the fight. This is wild. So things kind of slowing down once again. These medevacs still here, by the way. Oh man, that's a lot of potential healing. And B-Breed, oh my god, no medevacs with this. He could be going into his death. Oh, spots the lurker spines, doesn't want to deal with it. This is crazy. Somehow both players are back to one base. They are reestablishing their infrastructure. B-Breed has a second base. He can fly that, well, here, I guess. I feel like this would have been a better choice, but either one works. And what is going on? How did we get here? Supplies dead even once again. Oh my goodness. This is wild. And yeah, neither player really feels confident enough to go for the fight. And reasonably so, right? There's lurkers here. There's actually the Terran army not that scary in my opinion. There's no tanks, no widow mines. So I feel like the army actually going to be favoring the Zerg a little bit. He has a Baneling nest now. Widow mines, Baneling's going to be pretty good against the Terran army because there are no splash units. But economy going to be favoring the Terran for a little while, as he has 2 orbitals now. And what's gonna happen? I feel like B-Breed should have taken out these extractors, just in case we see a full-on base trade later on. But somehow, some way, things are slowing down once again. And oh, B-Breed getting a little ballsy, flying 3 full medevacs out in the middle of the map. And Kevin spots all this. He's got the creep. So what is B-Breed's plan here? Is he going for a... Well, he could drop on this base. That is one little pick off he can do, but uh-oh. Kevin spots it. You gotta be careful. There's Hydras with this. You gotta get out of there, B-Breed. Oh! Fly away! Oh, is he gonna lose that one medevac? No, okay. Whoa, that was close. Kevin getting his Baneling speed, and that's gonna make this army so much stronger. B-Breed floating a lot of money. You really need to spend that money. Make more production facilities. But he is getting tanks now. He's gonna run in with this bio army once again. But Kevin shows up, and I don't think there's any way for these units to get away this time. Oh, all the medevacs go down. Does snipe that hatchery though at the cost of all his units here. Was it worth it? I don't know. I mean, yeah, he keeps the Zerg on one base, but he loses a lot of army. If I were Kevin, I would go for it now. The longer this goes on, the worse it gets for him. The Terran is on 2 bases. Kevin maybe being a little too hesitant. He is going for it now, gonna burrow the lurkers. They don't have range, keep that in mind. And here comes the Ling Bane. Oh my god, what are we witnessing? And looks like Kevin's gonna get that base back. We are down to 1 base apiece. And what does B-Breed have left? A couple tanks, some bunkers with units. And is Kevin going to be able to break this position? These tanks doing so much damage. Oh, I don't know about this fight, Kevin. Losing so much to the tanks. His Liberator is going to go down. And actually, it might be enough. Oh my god. This one tank, an absolute hero though. And Kevin not focusing it. Oh my god, what is happening? This tank. 20 kills. I do think it's gonna have to go down eventually. Scan, but Ling's gonna get that tank. And oh my goodness, what was that game? GG gets called, and Kevin is gonna take the victory in that wild, wild game. Welcome back, folks. What a way to start off the series. A wild 28-minute TVZ where both players lost their bases. Looked like it could have been a draw, but this man here pulled it off in the end. It is Kevin Lee. And his opponent, the Red Terran, had a chance last game, but ultimately fell to the Zerg. It is B-Breed. I don't know how we can top that last game, but hopefully these guys bring it in the second game and the rest of the series. This game going to be played on Pride of Alteris, the largest map in the map pool. And Kevin going to be going for a hatchery first. I'd like to see either player go for a crazy gold base. 8 mineral patches on these gold bases. B-Breed going for a double gas opening. It's pretty early, I think. I don't know my turn timings too well, but this does smell like a battle cruiser opening. And Kevin going pretty standard. You see the factory going down. One Marine on its way. And I do think battle cruisers is pretty smart play for this map. They can just warp all the way across, completely bypassing the very long travel distance. So that's a good way to just bypass all that. This refinery not mining fully. I think B-Breed just pulled off a couple SCVs perhaps. Wanting extra minerals, I guess. But he is going for that starport now. Kevin has an Overlord in prime position to fly in for his scout. Some Marines, not really sure what they're up to. And Kevin's mining gas. Once again, double gas. Except this one's not saturated, but he's continuing to mine gas after getting speed. No third in sight still. Do think Kevin should go for a third base quicker. Poked in with a couple Zerglings, lost one of them I think, but he was able to get a Marine, so good trade. One Marine for one Zergling. That's going to favor the Zerg just a little bit. Starport is done, getting that tech lab, and Fusion Core does need to get the scout. Kevin going for a very fast layer once again. Getting gases 3 and 4. Are we gonna see a Spire? Does look that way, but could be anything, I suppose. Kevin also spreading creep this game, something he's been improving in the last couple games. The last game he had pretty good creep spread. Starting the creep spread off this game as well. It's quite important, especially with a map like this. And gonna be throwing down a Baneling nest. Don't really need 4 gases on 2 bases if you're just going for a Baneling nest, but there goes the Spire as well. Battle cruiser about 40% done. And in comes the Overseer. Gonna get that scout off. And yeah, spots the starport, spots the fusion core. So Kevin fully aware of what's coming his way. Should throw down a couple spores defensively, maybe start a few more queens. Would be not that great if he doesn't. Oh, there is a spore coming down. Another one in the natural as well. That's good. And the battle cruiser is ready. Where's the warp? You're wasting time. And that's going to allow the spores to finish up. Yeah, could have been a few seconds earlier, but either way, defense is going to be good enough out of Kevin as he starts 10 Mutalisks, and B-Breed's in a bit of trouble now. This battle cruiser, I don't know if it's going to be able to get away. That was a little ambitious, that creep tumor. This battle cruiser not really going to find a whole lot. 2 drones and a creep tumor, that's about it. And Kevin with his 10 mutas. Third base, not really doing a whole lot just yet. This battle cruiser going Overlord hunting. And these mutas going battle cruiser hunting. And B-Breed, he has no turrets. Oh no, he could just straight up die to 10 mutas right now as they make their way into the natural. And to make things worse, he's moving out, so the Marine's out of position. Oh no, this is bad. Gonna lose 11 SCVs for free. Kevin even fighting the Marines. Yeah, you could do that. There's only a few of them here. And that's gonna give him free reign to the Terran base. B-Breed just going for the full-on counterattack, but that's not enough Marines. They could just die to mutas. I don't like this at all. But I think B-Breed feels like he's got to try something. He's losing everything back at home, and this is not going to be pretty for the Terran. Some mutas spawning. And once he just regroups them, I feel like Kevin could just go for this fight. Battle Cruiser makes things a little tricky. Marines, I mean SCVs coming along for the ride. Ling's gonna take out that one tank, but now all the mutas have regrouped. They're gonna be able to take out the battle cruiser and then the Marines and then everything else. And B-Breed is gonna just have to tap out from this point. Widow Mine wastes its shot on an Overlord. And B-Breed is in big trouble. Honestly, he is pretty dead, but he's gonna stay in it. Kevin, with his 18 mutas, should be able to close the show. There's still no turrets, only a handful of Marines, and Kevin can easily abuse the mobility of these Mutalisks. And yeah, once B-Breed runs up, just disengage, go for the natural perhaps. Gets 5 SCVs for free there. And now gonna go into the natural. Lots of SCVs ripe for the picking here. And Marine's gonna have to run all the way back, and the mutas can just disengage, go for supply depots, fly back around into the main, and he can do this all day long. Meanwhile, back at home, getting some Lings and Banes. Not sure why he's running all the way back with the mutas. I feel like you just bounce back and forth between these bases and just make B-Breed's life a living hell. And the mutas gonna make their way back now. And B-Breed is so dead, folks. Oh! Unless... No. Widow Mine's not even gonna be enough. Another shot, but not gonna be enough. And yeah. Mutas down to 15. That's still plenty of mutas. We've got a nice, scary Lingbane army. Third base has been re-established, although not mining. Could transfer some drones over, which he is doing. B-Breed on his triple orbital. He's got some mules, but the worker count absolutely in the dumps right now. Kevin kind of just dragging this out, I feel. More than doubling the supply of his opponent. Morphing in even more banelings. Is he just gonna overrun him with banelings? 56 of them. Holy moly. And here they come. Let's see how good the Widowmine shots are. There's only a few of them. Don't think that's going to be enough. And B-Breed's army spread very thin because he's scared of the Mutalisk. And that means if he just comes from one angle, there's not going to be enough Terran. Picks off a medevac there for free. Could go for some SCVs here. Spots the Widowmines and backs away. And yeah, unless Kevin loses everything to Widowmines, I don't see any chance that he loses this game. Morphing even more banelings. Oh my god. He just wants to send a message at this point. Just chilling on 3 bases. Only 36 workers, but that doesn't matter. He is so far in the lead. B-Breed has done a good job re-SCVing it up. But he's still so far behind. These Widowmines gonna waste their shots on a handful of lings. And in rolls all the banelings. They are gonna get just about everything. And that should finally be GG. There we go. Kevin gonna take game number 2.